Emma raced downstairs, fear lending speed to her steps. The house was silent, empty. Then she heard it. Footsteps above her. Slow, dragging steps like someone walking on a rope cart between two mountains. She stood frozen, listening as they grew louder, closer. On the landing, she finally saw him. He was tall and lean, his clothes dark and shapeless, as though he had pulled them over something else. His face was narrow, sharp, his eyes hard, glinting stones. They locked onto hers, and for a moment she couldn't move, couldn't breathe. Then he inclined his head, and Emma felt a jolt of recognition, as if something familiar had shifted positions. It was just an angle of the light, she told herself, a trick of the shadows. But she knew somehow that she had never seen him before. But how could that be? The drawing had come from this house. It had been here all along, hadn't he, didn't he? A scream caught in her throat, but he only smiled, showing teeth that were just a little too sharp. "You shouldn't be here," she managed to say, her voice sounding thin and shaky in her own ears. "Who are you?" The smile didn't falter. "Your servant," he said, his voice low and resonant, like a tuning fork striking a chord deep within her. "You ran?" Emma shook her head, backing away. "No, I didn't. I mean, you're not real." "None of this is real." She stumbled over her words, feeling the familiar panic of a nightmare rising within her. But his eyes didn't waver. "Of course I am," he said softly, taking a step down the stairs. "As real as you." He was closer now, and she could see the fine lines of his face more clearly, the way his eyes glinted with amusement, the set of his jaw, the curve of his lips. Emma felt a strange sensation blossom in her chest, a mixture of revulsion and morbid fascination, like looking into the eye of a storm. There was power there, ancient and untamed. She tried to look away, but she couldn't. She was transfixed. As if sensing her thoughts, the stranger tilted his head again. "Don't be afraid, Emma," he said. "I won't hurt you." His tone was gentle, disarming, and yet she felt no easing of the dread that had her in its grip. "How do I know that?" she whispered, her gaze darting to the front door. "You're not supposed to be here." "You don't belong here." The smile returned, slow and deliberate, like a predator baring its teeth. "Oh, but I do," he murmured. "We both do. Haven't you sensed me, Emma? Haven't you felt the hunger rising within you, the need, the craving?" She flinched. Hunger, need, craving. Why did he know her so well? Why did his words strike chords of recognition within her? Then she remembered the painting, the portrait of the girl who looked just like her, staring directly at her. And in that moment, Emma understood. She wasn't just descended from the girl in the painting. She was her. But how could this be? How could she be here, in this house, in this time? Then it struck her. It wasn't she who had changed. It was the house. The place had existed outside of time, holding its secrets close until they were needed. And now she was here because of the mirror. Because of what lay behind the mirror. The stranger took another step down the stairs. "It's time to come with me, Emma," he said softly. "Time to claim what is yours. Claim what is yours." His words echoed in Emma's mind, twisting and turning, finding purchase in her fears. Who was he? What did he want from her? But most important, why did the very notion of resisting him feel so terrifying? Like pushing away the sun, like trying to stop the tides. Was this who she was meant to be? What if this was only the beginning? Emma had known when she first laid eyes on the mirror that it held something beyond the glass. Now she was certain. The question was, did she want to find out what it was? The stranger waited patiently on the stairs. His silence pressing, demanding. It was a challenge, a test. And Emma knew that whatever answer she gave, whatever choice she made, there would be consequences. There was no going back now. She looked from the mirror to the man and back again. Finally, she met his gaze, her own eyes hardening with resolve. "Why should I go with you?" she said quietly. The stranger's smile widened, baring those sharp teeth. "Because, my dear Emma, you already have." He gestured with a fluid movement of his hand. "Don't you see? It's too late. You are mine now. We are one." And as he spoke, the attic around them shimmered, coalescing into a vision of the future, a life with him. Power thrummed beneath his fingertips. Promise glittered in his eyes. For a moment, Emma hesitated. This was everything she had ever wanted, everything she had ever feared. And in that instant, she understood the nature of the choice she faced. It wasn't about good and evil, heaven and hell. It was about the relentless, inescapable pull of ambition, The intoxicating allure of limitless potential, and the terrible cost of yielding to it. In the depths of her being, Emma knew she couldn't have it both ways. She could choose the path of shadows, embrace the power that beckoned, or she could walk away, relinquish the legacy that had been thrust upon her, and try to build a life untouched by magic, untouched by the hunger that gnawed at her core. The decision, once made, could never be undone. And so, looking into the eyes of the man who was both stranger and kin, Emma chose. The world shimmered and solidified around her. The attic was gone, replaced by a familiar hallway lit by flickering candlelight. She was in the house again, but it was different. Cozier, warmer, safer. Yet there was a lingering chill that clung to the air, a hint of something dark lurking just beyond sight. Then she heard it, a soft sigh, like a breath of wind through old pipes. It seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere. And in that sound, Emma knew that whatever she had chosen, she was not truly free. Not yet, not ever.